presentation will give you an overview on my own education ideology, the influences from key thinkers, and how I intend to incorporate these aspects into my own classroom. My main focus is the child as a whole, not just their academic achievements, and I take a child-centered approach into how I believe my classroom should be. The main aspects that I feel are the most important in my classroom are a creative yet fun environment. I believe that this is important as it allows the child to develop their imagination and will also lead the child into enjoying their educational experience more. I want to be able to use creative aspects in every lesson to stimulate the child. I believe that it's not just attainment that's important, but the child's mental well-being, so therefore would incorporate aspects that allow the children chance to reflect and be able to talk and understand any problems that they might be experiencing. This may come in the form of meditation like Steiner uses, and I will incorporate aspects that will be there to support the child in every way possible. I also believe in putting as little pressure as possible on the child, in order for the child to work to the best of their ability with no competition or comparison. I believe in letting the child learn from their own mistakes and developing on this themselves in order to improve independently with no pressure or judgment. I want to include many different varieties of subjects that cater to the children, such as world cultures and artistic classes such as pottery and art, in order to develop the child's mind and allow them to be creative and imaginative while they are still a child. I believe that the outdoors should be more widely used in schools, such as growing vegetables and seeing wildlife in order to help change the environment and to allow the children to appreciate the environment and the nature around them. A good relationship and communication between parents and teacher is vital, as 30% of learning only happens in school, while the rest is out of school, so communication is key to a good, well-rounded education. And most strongly of all, I believe that children should be able to follow their passion, as this shows enthusiasm and allows the child to enjoy their education, as there is something the child will give their all to. It will give the child confidence and motivation in all aspects of their work. The aspects in my ideology are influenced by many key thinkers from this module. These are Montessori, Ken Robinson, Robin Alexander, and Steiner. The aspect from key thinker Maria Montessori that I found resonated with my own ideology most are the small furniture, which makes the classroom more welcoming and comforting to the children. It also makes the classroom for the children, which is important to me in the child-centered approach to learning. The creative yet useful tasks teach the child, as well as giving them their independence to choose what tasks they are ready for. I believe this is important as the child will know when they want to learn, and I would like this no-rush approach in my own classroom. Although this will be hard to introduce into a mainstream school setting due to the curriculum, so I will have to consider working at a Montessori school. Furthermore, allowing the child to do what interests them allows the child to master this before moving on to something else, and therefore gives the child a sense of achievement and the enjoyment of carrying out something that they chose to do. I also like that in the Montessori classroom, the children can choose to work alone or in groups. This gives the children choice and freedom and will not force the child into group situations if they are not ready. It gives the child time to process the environment, and then they can join others when they feel comfortable. Sir Ken Robinson believes in a creative and broad curriculum. I believe that creativity in the classroom is key to allowing the development of imaginative minds and to keep the children interested and motivated in the classroom setting. Ken Robinson states that, for some critics, progressive education has been closely associated with the whole idea of creativity. Politicians promote the idea of creativity, but some of them obviously suspect that too much creativity in the classrooms may have been the problem in the first place, as a result of which they now have to raise academic standards. I believe that creative subjects are lacking in schools today, and I would like to introduce more creative aspects in my classroom. I believe art and music should be a core subject, such as science and history. Not only do I want to do this, but I want to teach the core subjects such as maths, science and English in a more creative way, through the use of poetry and experiments. I believe that in order for the children to achieve, they should be passionate in these subjects, and by being creative and active, it will intrigue the children and deepen their interest, giving them more enthusiasm and therefore achieving higher. Key thinker Robin Alexander influenced my ideology through his thoughts on dialogic teaching, which I viewed on experience through the use of talking partners. I believe that giving the children more chance to talk between themselves will give them chance to reflect and discuss, and give more complex answers back. I want to use this in my own classroom, to give the children chance to think and come up with ideas on their own. Another aspect is the learning outside the classroom, which I agree wholeheartedly with. I will try to have a good relationship with parents in order to encourage more learning outside of school, and would also like to get the children out of the classroom into museums and into nature in order to bring the classroom outside, and to give them new ways of learning by stimulating their minds and giving them more to look at than just the classroom walls. I believe that this will help the children learn more, as it will be more interactive, interesting, and a different environment in which to learn. I also follow Robin Alexander's belief on a broad curriculum. I want to focus on bringing new subjects into the classroom, as well as maths, English and science. I want to incorporate different topics in order to expand the child's mind, and to give the children chance to explore every subject and every pathway available to them. The Steiner approach also has influenced my own ideology, through developing the child as a whole, and not just the grades the child receives. I believe that the health and well-being of the child is even more important, and therefore, as mentioned earlier, I will want to put as little pressure as possible on the child, so the child is able to thrive on their own and independently. I like Steiner's idea of blank walls to bring focus back to their work, and, as mentioned above, linking with the ideas of Robin Alexander, I want to use a vast amount of subjects and projects in my classroom, which I believe will help develop the child as a whole. I will take certain steps in order to achieve my educational ideology in my own classroom. Step 1 will be to prepare the classroom for the children, with blank walls from the Steiner approach, and small furniture from the Montessori approach, so the children feel welcome and comforted. Step 2. I will have quality material toys and objects in the classroom, just like Montessori used, and will teach the children to respect these whilst also allowing them to be creative with them. Step 3. I believe step 3 will be to trust the child, and eventually they will let you know when the right time it is for them to learn. Step 4. Step 4 would be to create a good relationship with the parents, to develop their out-of-school learning, and to help in any way that I can. Step 5. Step 5 would be to try and put little pressure on the child. I believe that a good balance of tests should be found so the children are not stressed, but do have an understanding for what is to come in the future so they are prepared for it. The challenges with my own educational ideology that I may face in a mainstream school setting are: a strict curriculum with less creative subjects, restrictions on taking the children out of the classroom environment, and being able to let the children learn when they feel they are ready. These may not be possible in a mainstream school setting. However, the solutions could be to teach in a different school, such as a Steiner or Montessori, as they have a less strict curriculum. Mostly, they have outdoor grounds in which to do activities, and they let the children learn when they believe they are ready. Overall, I feel that trying to work in a Montessori school would be best for me, with my own personal ideology and how I believe my classroom should be. Thank you for listening to my presentation on my own educational ideology.